Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Jonathan, and to my returning subscribers, welcome back, my friends, welcome back. So far in 2020, have you been feeling as though it's a heavy energy? Have you been having a hard time to raise your vibrations? Have you been feeling down? Because if so, stick around, because I'm going to be talking about the dark side of spiritual awakening. Let's get started. Whether you want to call this the dark nights of the soul, whether you want to call this the cleansing of the soul, the purging stage, or what I like to refer to as the death of self. Going through this stage is extremely painful, but I'm asking you this right now. Throughout your lifetime, how many times you went through painful situations and instead of being able to release it, instead of letting it out, you suppressed it? Because the truth of the matter, this happens to a lot of individuals who go through many painful experiences in their life, but instead of being able to deal with it at the moment and release it, suppress it, and next thing end up happening, you end up most likely going through the exact same type of situations over and over again. And not only this, throughout your entire life, have you struggled to fit in? Have you had a hard time making friends? Because as far as talking to individuals, small talk does not interest you. You're not interested in being with a big crowd. You much rather socialize with a few close friends, but have a deep, meaningful conversation. Because right now, what's happening, it is the death of self that's happening, because the person who you've become as of this very moment is because of past actions, because of past situation and experiences you've had. All these painful things have molded you into the person that you are as of right now. And who you are, if you really look within, is not who you are as of this very moment. Therefore, when something is coming up, give yourself permission to release this without any resistance. And not only this, try to remain as present as possible. Because I went through this stage right here where all these things are coming up. I'm just feeling all down. I'm feeling low. I'm feeling depressed. And then on top of that, I'm adding the anxiety and the worry of things that most likely aren't even going to be coming, but that I'm focusing in on. Therefore, what I'm suggesting is remain as present as possible. And as far as your exterior reality, anything you're not able to control, eliminate it. Cut it out 100% if you're not able to control it. Things that you're able to control, but you're not able to immediately make the change that is necessary, limit your exposure. One time, let's say one night a week, we spend 1 hour trying to resolve a certain problem. But don't spend your entire week worrying about this problem, because as far as your reality, okay, there is some lag, but however you feel emotionally, whatever you're vibrating as far as your emotions, plus whatever it is that you're thinking about is what's going to create your reality. But as far as when you're going through this stage right here, you got to understand that as far as law of attraction, there is some lag. It could be a 6 month, it could be a 1 year, year and a half lag. Therefore, what you're seeing in your reality right now does not necessarily reflect how you're vibing as of this very moment, or else the thoughts that you're having. But the more you're able to let go, physically purge out, let those tears out, the more you're going to be able to gain a deeper understanding as far as certain past painful situations. And guess what? Once you do, you're actually going to become grateful. You're going to feel this intense rush of love, joy, and bliss for having lived through a certain situation, because it taught you an extremely valuable life lesson. It's just like I went through prior to my awakening. I went through a karmic soulmate relationship. It was very painful on both sides. It wasn't just everything she did to me. I obviously did things to her too. But it was, once I was able to physically purge this pain out, release this from my heart, I was able to understand the life lesson. I was able to understand that she came forth to show me how to love myself. She came forth to show me how to become more positive. She came forth to give me that confidence. She came forth to show me that it's okay to have healthy boundaries. She came forth in order for me to really be able to define, here's how I want to love and give affection to my partner, and here's how I want her to give it to me. Here's what I'm going to accept, and here's what I'm not going to accept. But it was only when I was able to release this that I was able to start to gain all this insight. And I suggest, even if you can't feel them, even if you're not, you Don't believe that you're receiving any communication from your angels and your spirit guides. Open up to them about what you're going through, because you're going to see they can help you out in so many different ways throughout this stage. Sometimes it would be just a line out of a movie. All of a sudden, I just get emotional. I realize, oh my God, it's my angels and my guides that are speaking to me, and they were giving me the exact answer that I was looking for. Sometimes it's through music. Sometimes it's through videos. A video really resonates with me. I just can feel it within my heart. And other times it's through your dreams. But the more you open up to them, the more you allow yourself to purge and release this from your heart, the more you're going to feel them. And trust me, they're going to start to help you as far as moving forward. And what's happening right now is literally everything is crumbling out of your life, whether it's yourself as far as your characteristic, as far as who you are right now. Because if you really look deep within, the true authentic self has been suppressed your entire life. You haven't been able to truly be your authentic self, because most likely as a child you were told, listen, no, you can't act this way, you can't do this, you have to act like everyone else, you have to fit in like everyone else. And now, as all these layers are going to be peeling back, what I want you to focus on, instead of manifesting out in your reality, focus inwards. I did this naturally. Didn't hear anyone speak of this at all while I was going through this stage. I wasn't even aware this is what was happening, but I decided to manifest from within. I became addicted to releasing those emotions, because for once in my life, I wasn't feeling numb. For once in my life, it was pain that was coming up. I was feeling something. And as I released pain from my heart, all of a sudden, love started to infuse in my heart. All of a sudden, I started to get better. So really focus inwards. Focus on creating that inner happiness. Focus on discovering who you are. Focus on bringing forth some type of excitement. And right now, I live in Quebec. Right now, they just reopened the cinemas. So it could be, it could be something as simple as that. In 2 weeks from now, I'm going to go see this movie. It gives you something to look forward to. And it's really going to help as far as you have this date. I know I'm going to go do this. It's going to help as far as waking up in the morning and feeling better about yourself. And understand this. You must be really compassionate, loving, and caring during this stage. And understanding. You might spend a whole entire week just sitting on the couch. But guess what? You might not be aware of it, but you're working through things right now. And whether it's happening at a conscious level or a subconscious level, you're working through some things. You're healing a certain past painful experiences. As an example, you're understanding things at a much deeper level. And it's setting small goals. And as far as manifesting, what small thing would help you raise your vibration right now? What is it? Is it a phone call from a friend? Is it going out with supper with a friend? Going for a drink with friends, something like this. Really look at something small and then ask your angels for this. Ask them to bring forth a blessing that's going to help raise up your vibration. Because as far as this energy, past 2 months were like this, okay? And I'm telling you this, it's going to stay like this until about midway through March. Once we're going to have the Pisces new moon, you might feel more emotional, but if you've done enough inner work, you're gonna, instead of feeling sadness, feeling really down, you're gonna be beginning to feel that love, joy, and bliss. You're gonna be beginning to feel that excitement. You're just gonna sense, finally, this sadness is fading away, and I can just feel it, that something good is coming up. And you're gonna see this spring and then going into summer, life is gonna get beautiful. You're gonna see that the more and more you let your authentic self out, you release giving a shit about anyone as far as how they judge you, and you just become your authentic self. You're going to start to draw in people, individuals who will love you for who you are, who will respect you for your opinions, even though they might be different than theirs, but you will respect theirs as well. And this stage, as much as it's painful right now, is going to be the most liberating thing that you have ever gone through in your life, because you're going to be discovering yourself at a much deeper level. And as far as discovering yourself, what information have you looked up so far on yourself to better understand why are you here? What are your spiritual gifts? How are you able to use them to bring forth more manifestation, to bring forth more abundance? I'd begin with numerology. There's plenty of apps, or else you can go online. put in your birthday and you're going to get your example, your life path number, which is going to help you know, here's how I should be moving forward. And not only this, as far as numerology, we all go through a 9-year cycle. And it would really help you to understand, are you, let's say, in your 5th, 6th, or 7th year right now? Because if you are, that's a year of doing a complete 180, doing shifting completely as far as how you're moving forward. Or else it's about really doing some inner work, really looking within. And it's going to help you better understand, okay, this year right now is all about looking within, creating the changes, positive changes I'm looking for, discovering myself at a soul level. And then next year is going to be the year to start pushing forth. Because as far as this society, we're always pushing for what's the fastest, easiest way for everything. But right now, it's what's most important as far as the spiritual awakening process or moving through on your spiritual journey is being as thorough as possible. Being thorough as possible, not resisting, and then remaining in the present moment, because oftentimes that when that miracle comes forth, you're not going to see it come forth. But if you're stressing about something down the road, you might be suppressing it. You might be bringing forth something not quite as good. But by being in the present moment, allowing that faith to grow, that certainty to come in, that inner knowing, it's really going to help to change your reality. And you're going to notice this. I guarantee you right now, because those of you who are watching this right now, it's literally as if you have your hand out. You're looking for help. You're looking for answers. Therefore, you're going to be receiving them. And you're going to see, as far as this summer, your vibrational frequency is going to shift. And all of a sudden, let's say if your life is stressful right now, all of a sudden, certain individuals are going to drop out of your life. Certain situations are just going to disappear. But what's important is, be in the present moment. Realize everything is happening for you, not against you. It might seem, maybe you lose your home or something like this. You lose your car, you lose your job. It might seem as though the universe is out to get you. No, they're aligning you. They're aligning you on the right path. And it's short term, it might seem as it's not the right path, but trust me, you're taking a shortcut. Once you start seeing this, as far as the changes that are coming forth, and you're saying, thank you, God, I'm now ready, willing, and able to receive something even better, something that is aligning more with my vibrational frequency, you're going to see manifestation going to come forth. And not only this, as far as your manifestation, the first year and a half of my spiritual awakening literally manifested nearly nothing. I obviously did manifest things, but it just didn't seem like anything was really manifesting. But I went through like a long extended period of being depressed. Therefore, there was a lot of stagnant negative energy. And no matter how good I felt at the very moment, I had to allow time in order for that stagnant energy to completely dissipate. But once it did, it was one manifestation after another. And ask anyone who's been using the law of attraction for a while now, you'll notice that it's pretty much every 3 months. Every 3 months, you seem to be able to get ahead. You seem to be able to bring forth some type of manifestation that's leading you one step closer to the right path. But it all begins with, let it out. Let it out, and don't be afraid to show your authentic self. I don't care how weird or how out there you are as far as your ideas. That is what's making you unique, and that is what's going to allow you to discover what would truly make you the happiest person on earth, as far as how is it that you're meant to serve, or what is it that you're meant to create. If money didn't exist right now, what could you do day in and day out and not get bored with it or not lose interest, and truly making it about the emotions that you feel and not about the abundance that's coming forth. What you're doing is you're putting a service out there, you're creating something. It's the emotion that's keeping you attached, that's making you want to do this. And look at the abundance coming forth just being a byproduct of the vibrational frequency that you have now matched. That's all it really is. But it all starts with looking within, healing, being gentle with yourself, and start setting little habits on a daily basis. I'm not saying to go from, let's say right now you're still drinking, you still take drugs, you smoke, you have some type of bad habit that you know that you want to let go of. I'm not saying to cut it out completely, but what I'm saying is begin to limit it and try to find something else that'll bring you joy, that'll bring you that pleasure. Because as far as for myself, when I was taking drugs, when I was smoking weed, example, when I was drinking alcohol, it was just, I was only doing this to suppress my emotions. I was only doing this for that short period of time to forget about my reality, because of the past example, the past 5 years prior to my awakening, how bad I felt. It literally was reflecting out into my reality. Therefore, my reality really was not fun. It was not pleasant. But I started slowly limiting. And you'll notice this as far as smoking weed. I think it was about my 4th month after I realized that I had my awakening. All of a sudden, went to take a hit. And I just felt worse than before. And I realized, okay, now it's time to let that go and really go by that. Start seeing, are you feeling better when you consume something or when you do a certain habit, or are you feeling worse? Once you start realizing that you're feeling worse, you're naturally going to eliminate this. And what's going to end up happening is you're naturally going to bring forth something else that's going to continue to help raise up your vibrations. Everything is going to work out, but it's a question of no longer resisting, letting the emotions out, asking your angel and your guide to receive the answers as far as what life lesson was I meant to learn. Because once you gain that understanding, you're going to see, you can even look at your most painful experiences and you're going to be able to find, it might be something small, but you're going to be able to find something as far as what good came out of this. And the truth of the matter is, sometimes you have to go through excruciatingly painful experiences, because that's what you're most likely going to be helping out others with. You're going to have gone through it. You're going to have allowed yourself to heal. You're going to have been strong enough. And that's why sometimes too, is because we are strong individuals. Therefore, we're able to take a lot. And once you understand this, example, with that situation, now you're going to be able to figure out, how is it that I'm able to help out other individuals? And trust me, this is just the beginning. You're going to reach levels of your vibrational frequency, talking as high as you've ever felt before in your life. You most likely haven't had your Kundalini awakening yet. Once you have your Kundalini awakening, that I'm talking, this is like an orgasmic energy flowing through your entire body. But don't give up. Focus on short term immediately. Don't look too far ahead. If you're going to look ahead, plan something. Instead of worrying about something coming up, plan something. Okay? And really be kind, gentle, and loving with yourself. And understand this, that it's a stage we all have to go through. And depending on how off your path you were, or depending on how can I say this? As far as your soul, as far as how completely different you had became, as far as all the events that occurred in your life, that's going to depend on how painful it's going to be. That's going to depend on how long it's going to take to get through this stage. But I know that if you're watching this right now, you are courageous. You have the strength to get through this. You will get through this, and you can't even begin to understand how good you're going to be feeling down the road. And you're going to see this energies for the next month or so. By mid to end March, you're going to be feeling pulled. You're going to be feeling as though something exciting is going to be coming forth. You're going to be wanting to get yourself out there. And moving is something that's incredibly powerful, because if you're just sitting there all the time, picture your vibrational frequency is going this slow, but once you're able to move, it's able to speed up, and it also helps to release things. If right now there's some anger being trapped inside of you, figure out a way to let this anger out in a healthy, positive manner. And it doesn't have to be going to the extreme again. You don't have to go lift weights for an hour and a half a day. It could just be just running a bit. It could just be, doing some type of sport. Just basically getting the body to start to move is really going to help to speed up the process. It's really going to help to allow you to release what needs to be released in order to really help you progress on your journey. And if you're remotely feeling stressed, get out in nature. If you're able to right now, every single day, if you're feeling remotely down every single day, I would try to get out in nature, even if it's just a 15-minute walk. And especially like right here, I have a little ravine. I can't believe it hasn't frozen over. If you're able to get near water, you're going to notice it just has this soothing energy, this soothing, calming energy. And it's going to help you work throughout what you need to work through. And it's going to help you reveal things to you. And I've almost forgot to mention too, as far as learn about your birth chart. I said numerology, learn about your birth chart, learn about your planets, your houses, what planets are in your houses. When I saw my birth chart, it blew my mind away, because I could see in my birth chart that I was destined to have a spiritual awakening. Well, that's going to do it for the video. I love you guys. You guys have an awesome day. Namaste.